Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of the BBNM Podcast. My name is Joshua Stanya, also known on the internet as Joshua D in certain places, and I will be your host for this first episode, and I will feature more than likely on all upcoming episodes. I hope the sound is okay. I've just tried to stream this on YouTube, and it didn't go very well, so I did 4 minutes, and I have to do those again, which is not a problem, of course. And in this first episode, I just wanted to go over why I've actually decided to start this podcast. It's something that I have been thinking of for the longest of times, as a lot of people who make content and are in business know that there are a lot of good ideas that never make it to production, which the pursuit of perfection probably holds a lot of people back, and it's definitely been the same for me. I feel like I had so many different niches that I wanted to speak about, I wanted to go into, and lots of different projects that I was working on. I just didn't really see how a podcast would fit in to those niches. I didn't know what specifically to talk about, and it's to this point I finally feel that this is a broad enough name and details and topics that I can talk about everything I want to. And this podcast is as much for me as it is for you guys. I know that sounds selfish, but I want to have somewhere where I can go and speak about what I want to speak about and not have it influence other projects that I'm working on. I feel like I've got some interesting thoughts and a pretty interesting life that I'd love to share with you guys. A pretty interesting story in my opinion as well. So I just wanted to, I finally got this started right now. It's going to be something I'm working on quite frequently. And I think people have a reputation or a persona that's built on the internet that isn't always a fair representation. I produce quite a lot of content on Facebook and Instagram. Just taking a sip of a Colombian roast coffee from Aldi, which is a budget supermarket, but the coffee's great, so definitely recommend that. So people have a persona built about themselves. They build their own persona online, and I produce quite a lot of content on other social channels. And I just feel like some of the content I push out isn't a fair representation of me. Some of my thoughts I know are construed in a way that is a little bit hostile. Some people don't like me because of that. And that, I don't really mind that people don't like me. I just feel like I'd like to give the full version of myself. And those videos are short form content. This is going to be longer form for sure. My vision for this podcast is to get guests on, which would be great. That maybe run these podcasts for an hour. That would be really cool. So I want people to get to know me and what I stand for, why I built this, why I do a lot of the things I do, and hopefully help some of you guys out and give you somewhere to hang out and be valued, give value, which I think is, it's the essence of life in my opinion. That if you can give value where you can, you'll receive it back more, and life will be good. You'll feel fulfilled, full of purpose. So that's kind of my goal for this podcast. And the term becoming better is something I've been working on for many years, probably over 5 years, mainly in my head, where if I was at a crossroad, a tough decision, and I didn't know which way to go, I would use the term, Josh, you're becoming better. Take the right decision, do the right thing, and I did do that, and it really stood me well in life. And I think now, as I've said this to more people, and when I first got into business, they heard me saying this all the time, and they were like, what's that mean? And I just thought everybody had a mantra that they said to themselves and they didn't. And a lot of people asked me to turn it into a brand, or at least into a slogan where people could belong to, and that felt really good, that story helped people out. And I know it's more than just me that uses this term now when times get tough, which they will. To have something to draw back on and a community to fall back on that will help you through these times, I think is really, really important. So that's my goal with this podcast, and the other content and other things I do in life, is really to build that sense of community and sense of belonging that so many people crave and so many people deserve. So when I first turned it into a brand, was about officially 6 months ago, 7 months ago, but no real content has been pushed out until the last 3 or 4 months. We've been working really hard on that content. The plan is to have Becoming Better as more than one discipline, more than one niche. So this is the BBNM podcast, where we're going to talk about network marketing and the lifestyle, which is something I'll discuss later in this podcast. But my bigger vision is to have BB Health, BB Travel, all of these different niches where you can become the best at them and belong somewhere. And I want to do it all non-profit, if possible, where costs can be covered, because as you'll find out in later episodes, I have a somewhat interesting story where I had a lot of things put into perspective, which is, again, something for another episode. But I really do believe in giving things away for free and letting people take what they will, give back what they want. So that's kind of the goal. And the reason I've started with network marketing and the BBNM podcast, the BBNM lifestyle, is I think I'll just go into the story of why I got into network marketing and where it's taken me. So last year, 13 months ago to the recording date of this, I was kind of just lost a job teaching. I'd got a degree. I always felt like I wanted to do more with life. I always felt like I was going to be successful. I always wanted to help people. I always wanted to make money my own way. And I always just wanted to own something. And when you actually break down the options available to someone that fits that criteria, firstly, I think there are thousands of other people that exact description of their life rings true. You feel like you've got a lot of potential and nowhere to spend it all. But if you look at the options available, it's kind of like work hard in a corporate job, and get like a little pay rise, work really long hours for not that much, with the ultimate aim of getting to 67 and retiring. You've heard all of that spiel before, I'm sure, but you are in a tricky situation. If you want to start a franchise, you're looking at so much money. You want to start a traditional business, or you want to take a product to market. It again requires a lot of investment or a lot of belief from other people, not just yourself, to really back that vision. And I just didn't have any of that. I didn't want to go back to work. And when I stumbled across network marketing, well, I'm sure a lot of you sat there watching this are either in it, or you've considered it, or you've heard the term, and it's got quite a negative connotation on the whole, which is a real shame, because when done correctly and with transparency and authenticity, as I'm going to go into, I think it's just a great avenue to get into the entrepreneurial world. And I'm not the only person with that thought process or with that mindset. So I got into it, had some success, and I found it quite difficult to accept to myself what I was doing. I was easily swayed by the opinions of others, which, again, if you're in network marketing or you've considered it, it's definitely a thought process you've had. People that don't understand it instantly are negative towards it, which is quite ridiculous. But I had like a real mindset shift about 2-3 months ago, where I did a lot of soul searching, asked myself why I was doing this, really redefined my why, which, I mean, I could go over if anybody was interested in why I do this, which I probably will anyway at some point, but just taking a drink. That's the first thing I've noticed about podcasts already, is you have to drink a lot. I don't know if anybody else podcasts here, but we've been going for 9 minutes and I'm really thirsty. Maybe it's the coffee, maybe it's not. But anyway, back to network marketing. I was kind of like not admitting to myself what I'd got into. I was kind of like, should I be doing this? Should I be promoting this? And it's probably because I didn't have the success. I didn't have like outlandish results to show. And again, I was just putting other people's expectations in front of mine. Most people think that when you start a venture or when you start in the online world that you have to make millions or you have to do really well financially for it to be a success. And I sort of bought into that for a long time. I listened to people, and all people wanted to know was how much did you make. And I let that sort of succumb. So I went out and played by their rules, tried to make more sales, tried to acquire more customers, more distributors. And then I went away. I went to Malta on the first holiday that had been paid for by my network marketing business, which was cool, but I didn't really feel like that whole. I kind of felt like I was just falling back into society's trap where I'd work, even though it was for myself, I'd just work and then go on holiday. And I wasn't in the position where when on that holiday I could speak about, like if somebody asked me what I did, I wouldn't be like network marketing and say it proudly. I'd kind of be like, well, I kind of I have a business online marketing, just a load of nonsense really, where it came from a block in my own head that I wasn't proud of what I was doing. And I just really stopped to think on that holiday and the following weeks after, and I was like, why should I hide the fact of what I do? I'm like good at it. I've helped other people get good at it, and I want to help more in the future. And this mindset shift really helped when I actually brought on a business coach, somebody I work very closely with, and he just sat me down and was like, look, Josh, these are your goals. This is where you want to go. Network marketing's a great vehicle for you to get there, so why don't you be proud of it? And I was like, he's called Peter. You'll hear more about him on this podcast. I was like, Peter, I am proud of it. And he was like, really? He was like, the vibe you give me, your content, your page, personal page, all of that doesn't show me anything about being proud of network marketing. You're kind of like hiding the fact that you do it almost. And I was like, wow. It's like, he's so true. And when we had that conversation, I decided then and there to be proud of what I do, be proud of the business model, be proud of the customers I've acquired, be proud of the distributors I have working with me, be proud of the lives I'm changing, and just be proud of making a change in this world, making a change to my life. So life turned around quickly. I felt much better in the morning, felt much better going to bed, and that's why I birthed this podcast, because I don't think, in fact, I know that network marketing is the future, and I don't think you should be, if you're a network marketer right now, be proud of what you do. You connect people to products that they want, and if you do it with integrity and you are authentic and you believe in your products and you believe in your skills as a leader, or if you just start, you believe in your product, especially your products when you start, then you're doing a great justice to this world. And don't let anybody tell you differently, because as you'll find further on in this podcast, in the coming episodes and in some of my other content I'll link, everybody is in a network. It's human nature to depend on each other. So don't let people drag you down. Don't let people call you a pyramid seller. Don't let people tell you what you're doing is wrong, because if you do, not only will it hurt your business, it will hurt you as a person. And I've been there in that sort of like, what's that word? In between heaven and hell. Limbo, that's the word. I think that's heaven and hell, or it might be death and alive, I don't know. I've been in that limbo where I didn't want to say what I was in. I didn't want to let people know. And you're just letting other people's opinions drag you down for no reason other than you're scared of their opinions and what they think. But just listen to me when I say this. And if you're listening to this podcast in 2020, then for one, it means that I've been a success. For one, it means I've grown this channel. And two, that was two already. And three, it means that you can do this. It means that you can help other people. You can build the lifestyle you deserve. You can build the network marketing lifestyle. You can become the best at it. You can help thousands of other people. And it all starts with you saying, no, I will not listen to the opinions of other people. And in that time, in the following 2 years, 3 years, even if it's 10 years, if it took you 10 years to build a full-time network marketing income, You compare that to what you'd earn in a traditional job. You compare that to what all of your haters will be earning. You will far out succeed them. Their opinions will fade. Their negativity will fade. You will not fade. You will carry on being the shining beacon. But that all starts from you being really open and honest with what you do. And if you've ever considered network marketing and you haven't got into it just yet, then let me assure you, if you choose the right person to do it with, and I'm not saying it has to be me, you will have a great life. And if you follow this podcast, you will know exactly what network marketing can give you. You will know the benefits it can breed, more than financially. It's going to build you a skill set. It's going to build great relationships. It's going to build a loyal customer base that love you because you provide a need. And of course, it's going to give you financial freedom, and probably the purest form of financial freedom other than being a millionaire, in my opinion. We'll talk about that more in future episodes. But from this first episode, I didn't even plan what I was going to speak about. I just kind of wanted to rant a little bit. Believe in network marketing. If you're listening to this, it means you have a vested interest already, of course. You've probably followed the hashtag. In fact, I don't know how many people will ever listen to this. To be honest, I don't really care, because if there's one person out there listening to this now and they're a network marketer, and it gives them the belief, it gives them the push to admit to themselves, admit to others, and be proud of what they do, then this podcast has already been an outstanding success. It's also taught me that water is essential. You have to take a lot of water on podcasts. So that is the first episode of the Becoming Better Network Marketing Lifestyle, the BBNM, which is a lot easier to say. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing a lot more of this type of content. Or a lot of it won't just be rants like this. As I said, there's going to be strategy. There's also going to be lifestyle stuff where I bring other people on. So thank you to everybody that's watching this. If it's 2025 and you're listening to this, then you've just embarked on the greatest journey ever, because it means that it's 7 years from now and I've been an unbelievable success for you to even take time to listen to this, which I'm proud of my own achievements for doing that and the team I've built and the people I've helped. But it also means that you are about to start on your journey. And if you're also listening on the 11th of September 2018 and you are thinking, wow, this guy, or you don't even care about me, but it's just giving you the nod that network marketing can work for you, then good luck on your journey. You are going to have a roller coaster. I urge you to start your own podcast or come on my podcast and let me know exactly what you're up to, because I love hearing from success of other network marketers and other businesses in general. So yeah, let's collaborate. Let's do good things together. Yeah, I've actually really enjoyed this with 18 minutes. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are. I've been Joshua D, and this is the BBNM Lifestyle Podcast.